Don't threaten us.
That's a good way to start it.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the late night talk show. I am one of your hosts, Grinch, along with Epic Cult, Improv Panic, and Sir Dapper
I'm
Penguin.
all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I bet you are.
Better be getting those double EXP codes.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna give some away during the stream.
We've got a couple things to give away. We got Just Cause 3 XXL edition to give away as well.
Yep.
Steam Key.
Oh, very nice.
Very nice indeed. But yeah, we're just gonna talk about a couple games, and hopefully you guys enjoy listening to us as well. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? First thing we're going to talk about is Death Stranding. I actually watched a lot of the gameplay footage, and as cool as the cinematics and everything go to me, the game just doesn't look like it's very fun. I don't know about you guys.
I feel like a lot of it's going to be like hidden until somebody actually plays the game. But as of right now, it looks very bland and boring.
Well, I watched the first 37. I think it was the first 37 of the gameplay, and
Oh wow.
there's like 13 or 14 minutes where you're just walking and nothing's happening. It's like a walking simulator with cutscenes, and I know there's some like stealth elements to it, but I'm just saying for the very beginning portion, and hopefully that's just a beta version of the game, and they're gonna add more in there. But from what I saw, the first 37 minutes, other than the cutscenes, I was kind of bored.
Yeah.
Where where did you see this gameplay? Like, was this someone that got like an early access version and was playing part of it and showing, or?
Yeah, it was a full like from the beginning 37 minutes view, and I did skip some of the initial cutscenes just because I didn't want
you didn't want to spoil story and
and I did watch some of it just because it kind of sucked me in because the cinematic portion of it was really good, and I'm a big fan of and I'm saying this as somebody that's a big fan of like Final Fantasy kind of games, which is kind of seems like their approach is cinematics with grinding in between, which instead of grinding you are walking in between cutscenes, and I feel like the game would really develop more later, but the first hour or 37 minutes of gameplay just seemed kind of slow to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. I don't know much about the game.
What is like the main premise of the game? Is it going to be more of like just like package delivery? Because that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
From the video that I saw mentioned that the package delivery is more side questy, I guess. And you're like, I want to know what this what these creatures or whatever the hell you're trying to avoid are, because you got this little arm on your back that can see these invisible creatures. Like, I want to know what this has to do with the story, because that's got to be like, if your package delivery and stuff is going on, in the beginning, and you're trying to, I guess, reunite some distant provinces or something, but like, really, I want to, like, there's got to be some major story thing with this exciting battle gameplay.
Well, see, kind of what I got from just a few little brief things, and not to ruin I don't think this would ruin the story for anybody, but it seems like there's like different levels of awareness of the creatures. Like some people can see them, some people can sense them, and there's some kind of like heightened sense there. And they have like a level system of who can sense what to and to what degree. So I mean that's pretty interesting. It kind of almost reminds me of like some of the anime type stuff, which it'll be interesting to unfold. And I again didn't want to ruin the story, but was also kind of intrigued. As far as and like I said, as far as the gameplay, I think there is some and stuff involved, but I didn't see any action in the first several minutes that I watched play.
Yeah. All I know about the game is that the babies freak me out. Like the babies freak me out.
Yeah, what is the purpose of the baby? Do we even know like anything about that yet, or is it just kind of like something that helps like identify like the ghost characters?
I'm assuming. Go ahead.
Go on.
Kind of what I was thinking is maybe the babies are somehow connected to the realm that these things come from. I'm not sure. But it did seem that they were attracted. There was a portion of footage where a baby was passed between three people, because whatever it was going after the baby. So I'm not sure.
Okay, because yeah, I saw that particular scene. The one guy that had the baby, his arm thing was like looking at the things,
Oh
and then
yeah.
once he passed the baby off to Norman Reedus's arm thing popped up and was looking at the things. So that
Maybe
yeah,
it's
it's
like
got to
a
have
suit,
something to
so
do with
the
that.
arm thing can actually like sense them. Maybe like that's the connection.
Something similar, yeah.
It's like a flower. It looks like a flower that turns. You know, I don't know. It's kind of an odd concept, but he's a pretty well known director for games. So I'm interested to see what happens.
I feel
Right.
like he's just
Definitely.
giving us the crumbs of the whole entire like game, and once people actually start playing it and getting into it a lot more, they're gonna see like exactly what this game is about.
Well, I mean, and
That's
that's
the thing
actually one
about
reason. That's actually one reason why I wanted to talk about it today. Is the game will be releasing tomorrow. So
Oh,
Right. One other thing I when I was first looking up Death Stranding recently when you brought it up, the first thing that came up was and I don't know if there's any opinions that'll come out of this. It's coming out on the console first. It's coming out on the PS4, and then it won't be coming out on the PC until like summer of next year.
Dang.
well, that's typical for
Yeah.
So
companies. I mean, like, we
but
just got Red Dead 2 on PC recently.
mhm.
Yeah, so they're probably
Okay. Yeah.
like reconfiguring the game engine so that way it works better on a PC as well.
Yeah, I was curious if anything we knew about the game would kind of affect, because people are, I guess, are complaining that this will kill the sales of the game on PC because people will have already, beaten it. We will know all the spoilers in the story. Like, do we think it's going to be worth playing again and again, or will it be worth playing on a separate platform after it's kind of done on PS4?
I don't know. Maybe it's a game with like multiple different endings, depending on what you do.
Okay.
These type of games typically don't have a really good playability or replayability, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Like even games like what's a good like what's Detroit Become Human, for instance. I'm
Oh
the
yeah.
kind of person I really enjoyed playing it through the first time,
Yeah.
but when I watched it back through, I wanted to watch someone else play it. I didn't want to play it myself, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And I
Now
think that
say
games like, go ahead.
now say for the people that for like me, for example, my wife and I are probably going to watch somebody on YouTube play it, and like we're probably gonna, like, there's probably everybody's gonna play it.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to decide if it's something that, are we gonna watch like one person play it and be satisfied, or are we gonna watch 7 different people play it? Like, is it gonna be like one of those games that's gonna be worthwhile, like to watch several times over, play and then watch?
I guess it really depends on like what it is like inside the gameplay. Like, are you able to make different choices? Like, are you given a certain amount of different kinds of missions you can do, where you can do different things other than what other players are doing? I feel like that's the only way that I would be watching somebody else.
Easter
Like
egg type
multiple people.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. So where it goes. I personally I like games that got like really high quality cinematics in them. I think Blizzard does a great job of this, by the way. Um, I'm worried about the gameplay in between, like I said earlier, and not to beat a dead horse, but that's kind of my overall opinion on it so far.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
So that talking, bringing up Blizzard, what were your guys' first thoughts on BlizzCon this year?
Definitely better than last year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No Diablo game on mobile devices. Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh.
Man, I was like, oh, rip Blizzard when that happened.
They're still working on that too. I sat in on part of the earnings call, and they talked about that too. So they are currently still,
I sat in on
like, that's a thing that they're actually looking into the mobile market as one of their kind of, I don't want to say like a primary game source, but like it's a thing that they are willing to work on. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see like an offshoot Overwatch mobile game sometime.
Well, I mean, like the only kind of like mobile game for Overwatch that's available is just going to be on the Switch. I don't really think they're going to be expanding that over into like actual cell phones or anything like that.
And I wouldn't be talking about actual Overwatch. It would be like an Overwatch themed phone game kind of
Okay,
thing. That's my guess.
well, like Farmville, where you have to rebuild rebuild the world or something.
Well, see, here's the thing that Blizzard acquired the company King, I believe it was, that owned Candy Crush
Yep.
like 4 or 5 years ago, for the sole purpose of being
Purpose of
able
the
to
mobile
move into the
market.
mobile. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, mobile market is a great way to make money, but it can also
hmm
suck.
They were talking good numbers because of the Call of Duty that's on mobile now.
Hmm.
I still have not played that. I mean, any game that is a shooter on mobile, I just think the control scheme is so wonky. I will not play it. I just won't.
Well, a
Well, I
lot of
mean,
players end up getting like attachments for their phone, like
Oh, okay.
where
hmm
yeah, stuff like that. So that way they can actually play the game properly and be better than the other people are just. I mean, it gives them
Uh,
an advantage compared to the people that are just using.
like those pictures Grinch sent me in Discord when my power went out that day with the with the little like things you can connect your phone to and everything.
it's got like a USB hub, a mouse, and a keyboard, and all kinds of stuff to
Oh
go into.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like a ton of stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But no, I mean, at least in my opinion, people can say what they want about the whole PC master race versus console wars thing, but I can pretty much agree that any real gamer will kind of diss most mobile games. I'm not going to say all of them, but most mobile games are a in comparison. They just are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of the conversation with the age old conversation about casual gaming. Like, oh, mobile games are only casual game. Like, if you play a mobile game, you're a casual gamer. Barely even that kind of thing. It all depends on how you look at it, really.
Yeah, I mean, and like there's even a lot of PC players that say that about console players, though.
Mm,
That it's not the same in comparison. Um,
I believe it. I'm a dirty casual.
I'll say, I mean, you could even think of it as a tier system if you want, but I think that console gaming and PC gaming is going to see as time goes on. Also, the only thing that bugs me between the two, and I'll quit running off a squirrel trail after this,
Yeah.
is that as consoles develop, there's going to be less and less of a gap, and so they'll be, and they already are more highly
Yeah.
respected than they were maybe
Mm-hmm.
5 or 6 years ago.
Definitely.
Um, and that being said, software is being developed where you can voice chat easier through those difference between consoles and PC in the past.
Well, look at the new COD. It's cross-platform. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
I am a person who doesn't think that cross-platform should ever be something that's in competitive in
not
general,
competitive. No.
just because that game will be ported differently and handled differently on each platform, so you can't compete at an equal level.
And there's
Yeah.
always going to be complaining from both sides, from PC and from console.
Well, mostly it's. I mean, when it comes to like cross-platform, playability, console players they work with the joystick. The
They got
joystick
aim
controller.
assist, yeah, but they got aim
Well,
assist
not just
and
that. They have a worse turn radius. Like they can't turn as fast
oh yeah,
as
PC
as a
keyboard
PC
mouse.
player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, flick
Us,
shotting on a computer's much different experience than it is on a joystick,
it's
for
so
instance.
fulfilling though, even with especially with a sniper. But I will say that this is my opinion though. I will say that PC gaming, I would say for me, is more. I play competitive games and stuff on a PC, and I feel like console, like PS4, Switch, Xbox, just in my opinion, for me, is more of like a couch co-op, like family kind of thing. You know?
If
Or
they ever
Smash
came out
with-
with couch co-op games.
Yeah, yeah.
They do have some, but not a wide variety. I feel like that's what's lacking in the game market.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
we specifically bought a Switch for that. That's the Switch's market, in my opinion, is couch type stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where they're being able to excel. And then where the PlayStation and Xbox, they're going more the competitive route.
Because
To
the
some
Switch can
degree.
hold up to like what 8 players now
Mm-hmm.
for certain games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, so we used to play like Mario Party, or a lot of the different Mario games or Nintendo games in general are for that reason.
Yeah. If people, I was telling Penguin the other day, people that say Monopoly ruins friendships have never played Mario Party. Have never played Mario Party.
So fun.
Mario Party ruins friendships.
I would have to say the newest Mario Party again is still the worst out of all.
Well, I just didn't like the new Mario Party only because online, like I got it, and I was like, man, online you can't do the boards. You can only do the mini games. I wanted to be able to do the boards online. You know.
You probably get those people that'll get mad mid game and just quit. So
Yeah.
I guess that's probably what they were trying to avoid. Anyway.
Yeah.
It is really easy to get off topic, but
yeah.
I mean, these are all fun things to talk about. I mean, we could probably sit here and talk about this all day, but I mean, there were so many cool things at BlizzCon. Overwatch 2. What were your thoughts on that, guys?
I'm excited for it. I think it's a little weird how they're marketing it though. They make it seem like it's almost an update for the current Overwatch, but it's like they're going to be doing a separate game, but it's the separate game's only going to be PvE. Like that's the only expansion to it, because they stated that everybody on the original Overwatch is going to get the same amount of characters. They're going to get the same maps. They're still going to be able to do competitive gameplay.
Right.
For the newest one, like you're just gonna basically be playing for the story mode PvE stuff. That's it.
From the way I understand it, it's a completely new client because it's on a new game engine. So if you've purchased Overwatch 1, when you move to Overwatch 2, you won't have to repay for the PvP portion.
Yep.
But what you're actually purchasing is the option to play the PvE version of that
But
game.
are they going to be marketing the game as like, oh, well, you've already bought the game for? I mean, the first Overwatch. We going to get like a discount for the second one? Like,
there is a rumor. There is a rumor. I shared a post, or a screen cap of, like a chat window saying that people who already own Overwatch 1 will be getting, I believe, a $20 discount.
Okay.
On Overwatch 2, which it makes sense on PC through like the Blizzard client, but I don't know how that's going to work as far as console players. So I hope there's some way for console players to redeem this sort of idea as well.
Well, don't most consoles now have like a marketplace that developers like sell the game on? So they would probably have to end up paying like just for the download. They won't be able to get a solid copy of it.
Right.
I didn't know they
and that
work
might be
with
the case
Humble.
too.
I didn't know they work with Humble Friends, so you can game through Humble. I know you can buy Game Shield through there, and you can also buy Call of Duty, so that would make sense.
Hey, what's up, Onyx? Your wife's watching the stream now, Grinch.
Hey, what's up? But no, I'm really excited to see what all happens. And there's also a rumor that they're going to make the PvP portion free to play, and so that in Overwatch 2, people will be able to play competitive for free, but then we'll only be paying for the PvE portion. Which I can tell you, there's good and bad at this. The benefits are you're probably going to have a huge boost to the community. The bad side is that people will be able to endlessly boost people and have multiple accounts at all kinds of different levels of play for boosting, and that's one of the biggest problems with Overwatch, even when it's a paid game. So.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because that's on, and that's a whole other conversation we can get into. But on console, like on the PlayStation, I can have any number of accounts. Technically, I have like 5 accounts on my PlayStation, and I've played Overwatch on all of them.
Holy crap!
So, well, I got my wife's and mine, and then 3 others I made for Overwatch, and so
You wanna know one of the first Overwatch 2 experiences that is stuck in my head now, or just anything to do with Overwatch 2? It's stuck in my head. Uh, I saw you post on Twitter Improv. It was like the picture of Reinhardt, but with the way May was looking at him, and you were like, "I see how you're looking at me." That's just stuck in my head.
Brick was looking at that Tracer booty though.
Oh yeah, she was.
that is
I honestly
nearly
think
no
that
doubt.
I doubt that. I honestly doubt that. I don't think that she was looking at her butt. I think it's just the frame where her eyes were like, because she zooms like right after she gets done hugging her, and like her perspective is looking down at Tracer automatically. So the frame where she zooms over, where you can obviously see her exposed butt.
Don't
Yeah.
spoil this.
You know that's
I'm
gonna.
sorry.
You know that's gonna be a meme now. You know that's gonna be a
Well,
I
meme.
know it is. I mean, there's pictures of it all over the internet.
Yeah,
already,
it's
so,
everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean,
Dang.
from an artist like perspective, that's what I see.
Oh yeah. Grinch was
Oh,
telling
right.
me earlier he doesn't like Ryan's man bun. The
I
bun.
have mixed feelings about it.
I wanted a
Because
giant Gandalf beard or something. I wanted
A
wizard
giant
beard.
Gandalf beard.
That's what I wanted for Reinhardt.
Why does he
I'm
look
surprised.
older? Go ahead.
I'm surprised the beard that they gave him this time fits under that helmet. Like I can't see anything larger.
Yeah, how does he put on his helmet now?
Very careful.
Very
Like, how,
carefully.
like before he was like in the cinematic with Reinhardt, he obviously would put on his helmet and then charge into like all the bastions, obviously to protect his head from any bullet fire. How's he
Right.
gonna do that now?
What I don't
The
understand.
same way through movie magic.
Is he just gonna have like hair fibers sticking out from the bottom of his helmet?
Fan artist, get on that.
Right.
I can't see anything. My beard's too big in here.
Why does he look older in Overwatch 2 when it takes place before Overwatch, the first one?
I'm sorry, you cut out there.
Huh?
You did a little bit.
He looks
What?
older. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. He looks older to me in Overwatch 2 than he does in Overwatch 1.
because he is.
Yeah, it's time has passed.
I thought this was back when they first met Genji and Mei.
No.
This is
Th-
after May came back and Winston hit the recall button.
Oh.
This is after all the cinematics that we've seen so far.
Okay.
This is supposed to be like the what is it? They're not called Omnics. They're called what again?
Null sector.
Null
Which-
sector.
Null sector is just a sector of Omnics
Yeah.
that are fighting against the oppression of human.
But they came back
dominance.
in like full force this time, so they're yeah.
Yeah. Like this is a similar fight to what happened back when what was the first Archives event? Uprising. So this is similar to what happened in Uprising, but yeah, a more upgraded. They're back. They're here. We're screwed. Get over with it.
The only thing I have problem with the PvE portion of the new Overwatch is that it to me doesn't look. They said it had a high pro. It looks very very basic. Looks like the equivalent to like a dungeon you would play in an MMO.
Yeah.
But that's not something you would want to run over and over and over if there were only like. We've only seen 5 so far, which I'm assuming those are going to be the 5 that come in the core game, and then as the game, they're going to have events that come out later on.
I would imagine they're going to keep it updated. Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like what's going to be happening with the main reason why they're opening up an Overwatch 2 is the main thing that everybody wants from Overwatch is story. They want to know characters' backgrounds. They want to know where they're going. They want to know all the secrets. They want to know everything about the Overwatch universe. And I feel like Overwatch 2 is Blizzard's way of like opening up all that information.
Someone
through PvE.
Yeah, someone asked a question. Is it Mr. Anderson asked, is it a totally different game or an add-on? I'm pretty sure it's a totally different game, but like they were saying earlier, or like Improv said, there from what we've seen, or from what he's seen, there might be like a discount if you already own Overwatch 1. But But it's pretty much a new game, isn't it?
It's definitely a new game
Okay.
because
Yes.
they're completely redoing all the characters to fit the new engine, like remodeling them and everything.
Yeah, I thought they were making a separate, like a completely different engine for this new game.
Yeah, it is a
They are,
completely
yeah.
different engine.
So the PvP
Um,
works better for it.
Yeah, and well, they said that not only does the PvE work better, but the PvP's optimization and quality feels a lot better just playing.
Mhm.
So I'm interested to see what happens because I watched XQC play with of the big personalities such as like during BlizzCon. I watched some of that earlier, and it was actually they were all praising it, and I XQC and Siegel can be kind of dicks
Oh
at
my
times.
gosh.
So that's the best way to put it. And so and both of them liked it. So I'm interested to see what happens.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I really haven't seen enough of the push. Um,
I like the bot. Push bot.
the push bot, the way I understand it is like whoever is if both teams are standing on it, the bot stands still. But if one team is on it and the other, it advances and it kind of goes back and forth.
I think it's
That's-
like a tug of war kind of thing.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
like,
that's kind of
yeah.
That's what people are calling it. Yeah.
It looks
Tug of
looks
war
pretty
bot.
interesting.
Yeah.
It feels like a double-ended payload
Yes.
because like you push the payload and the other players stop it. On this end, both players are trying to push their own payloads and you're trying to knock them off of it. Essentially, that's kind of this game mode.
Yeah, rather than just one team, rather than just like a back and forth. Oh, you're attacking, you're defending. It
Yep.
gives like the players that are actually playing like a chance to actually win compared to
Yep.
losing. Because I noticed in like the original Overwatch, when it came to like the payload pushing matches, when it's not even like ranked, it's just a normal game. You're either on the defending or you're attacking, and just depending on like how everybody sets up their team comp, you're obviously gonna win or lose.
Yeah. I saw a
So
lot
I
of.
feel like this is a way to like kind of sever that and actually create the pushing the payload a lot better.
Right.
Yeah. I can
And
see
they
that.
have the shape of this game mode too is I find almost no possibility that you could tie in a game because generally you're hitting checkpoints and then if you get to the same checkpoint you tie the game and you got to go into extra innings or whatever. In this particular game mode, there's a much lower chance that you'll have a tied game. So that a lot of people are going to enjoy that because they don't want to play extra innings if they know they can just win or lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Like,
saw a lot of people were baffled that Genji's actually wearing clothes now. With the jacket and everything.
It's not like he was
Part of the-
naked in the first place. I mean,
No.
that was like his skin.
Yeah. It looked like armor almost. But
Yeah.
The
But
only
it
thing
does
people are
look
mad
super
about,
badass though.
the only
Yeah.
reason people are mad that he's wearing clothes now is you can't see that his butt. He can't see his butt anymore. I mean, he
oh
has
my
lost his butt so
gosh.
much. No, but I think the design on Genji looks really, really cool. I think he's probably my favorite design out of the new characters by far.
The
They
new
didn't really do
Genji.
much to May, did they?
No, May
They-
doesn't look any different. May and Brig.
They
look
changed her
pretty
hair a
awesome.
little bit.
And I think
So,
maybe her backpack, but I think it's about it.
Lucio looks a lot more feminine now, in my opinion.
I
Really?
only really focused on the hair. I didn't see much else.
I wouldn't say it's feminine, but I would say like it's more DJ oriented, like more high tech.
Let's check out Lucio.
He's very slender. It made him look slender, and for some reason, on one of the cinematics I was watching of the gameplay of Rija De Janeiro, I'm probably butchering that. My wife will tell me later.
Oh gosh. Well, she's watching the
Anyways,
stream. She might tell you now.
yeah, she might. What the hell are you doing? Anyways, his eyebrows looked very feminine, like they were painted onto me for some reason. I don't know. I thought it was
I think
funny.
that just might be his texture.
It could be.
I think he just has a slender body. That's just him.
Yeah.
Being the
So-
slightly wider model, I guess.
If they're showing us all these characters now that have a little bit of an update, I mean, and some that obviously don't, like which ones are going to get a different look and which ones aren't.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, all 31 heroes are going to get a slight redesign.
So is Junkrat gonna have all his limbs gone or something, or like, he's just gonna have all like mechanical pieces?
He'll have more updated arms and legs.
He'll actually look like Roadhog. He'll be a big buff like machine with a tiny head.
Oh my gosh.
And they were talking about when Overwatch 2 actually does release, they're gonna have several new characters that are gonna come along with it like immediately.
Yeah,
So
they
Mhm.
said like what, like 8 characters, I think, or more.
yeah, yeah.
Did they
So
give a number?
they
Don't think they did, but I'm
that
guesstimating they probably give at least 8 or 10 new characters along with the game.
yeah, I was thinking a minimum of 4 at the very least.
We know we're at least getting 2.
Yeah.
That's for a fact.
Well,
Because
Echo
We're supposedly getting one soon for Overwatch 1, which we're assuming is Echo, because it's confirmed that Sojourn will be an Overwatch 2 release.
yes,
so I'm
So-
thinking we'll get Echo, and then Watch 2 will probably release sometime quarter 1 of 2020. That's just a guesstimation.
I'm gonna shoot for probably summer of next year.
I would be so happy if it released that early.
Well, no, so they're I don't think that they would start stage 1 Overwatch without converting to stage or Overwatch 2, if that makes sense.
So you're saying that they'll most likely have it in like the spring of next year,
Yes.
early next year. Okay.
Or
are you referring to Overwatch League?
Yes, I'm referring to
Okay.
Overwatch League, but they could actually have a special client specifically Overwatch League in Overwatch 2 before we get a special patch for Overwatch League when they took goats out of the meta before we got it on live, if you remember.
Interesting.
So it's interesting to see what they might do there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do the first giveaway. It'll be for the game Just Cause 3, the XXL edition.
Ooh.
You can redeem it on Steam, and I'm going to post the game key in chat. So whoever gets it gets it.
There you go.
There you go.
If you do get it, feel free to tweet us just so we can congratulate you later.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited the future of Overwatch. We were talking about this previously, but we knew we knew Blizzard was going to have to do something really big in this BlizzCon because they've really had a decline in PR over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, and just to, I don't want to. I said earlier before we got into chat that I didn't want to talk a whole lot about the whole Hong Kong thing. We want briefly on something that Jane posted. He's the assistant coach and analyst for the Dallas Fuel. I'm a big fan of his. He's very highly respected in the Overwatch community. This is a tweet, and I'll quote him. It says, "While I recognize the right that at Blizzard Entertainment has to enforce rules and standards on competitors such as Blizzard Chung _HS, I condemn the censorship and severity of the consequences brought against an individual who was campaigning for human rights and social," which I think was a very tasteful and respectful way to say that. And Blizzard basically made him remove that tweet.
Wow.
I feel like once Blizzard stepped in the shit, they want to just scrape it off and just not worry about it now. So they kind of want to like push everything under the rug.
Yeah, I can see that. I can
They
see
don't want
that
to
to a
keep like
degree.
They don't want to keep fueling the fires.
I am one, and
But I feel like they shouldn't have done that.
I still don't think it's right for them to ban Twitch users for for speaking about Hong Kong in their chat. I know it might like annoy them a little bit, but I think that they're just adding fuel to the flame by doing.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. But
They did dig themselves a much bigger hole with their lack of response, and then the way they did choose to respond the few times that they did.
Well, see, and what I understand is Blizzard has, and I won't talk about this much because I don't have a definite source, and I was trying to do research on it, but I heard rumor that Blizzard has a PR company specifically for China, and they have no control over anything that happens. And this company basically handles everything. So I don't know how true that is. It's
Okay.
interesting to talk about though. What you guys big Diablo fans?
Not really, but the new cinematic
I
is amazing.
Yeah,
I will say the cinematic was like 10 out of 10 for
I
me.
just watched it today and it was pretty good.
Is
I'll
anyone else a
honestly,
Diablo fan?
I'll honestly say though that I got a little bit not peeved, just in my opinion, like mad during the cinematic because the guy was like fending him off with the fire, and then they were like, "Oh, he's already dead. Close the door." I'm like, "Oh my!" He just like protected you guys. And you're gonna close the door on him.
Well, I think he was like the way it seemed to me is that guy was actually uh Diablo all along and
Oh,
just trying to
okay,
help him get there. That's the way I
okay.
kind of understood it.
Because he comes back in the
Or Lilith,
cinematic.
whoever. Yeah.
Interesting.
But it was a cool cinematic. I'm not a big I used to love dungeon crawler games. I played wasn't a big fan of it. I just don't feel like that genre is like held up as well as some others. But I'm definitely happy for the Diablo fans that won't have to play on mobile.
Yeah.
Another thing I'll talk about briefly is Hearthstone got or not Hearthstone, sort of update, but no one really cares.
Hey, Hearthstone actually got some really awesome stuff this year. By the way.
Yeah, I was talking more of like Heroes of the Storm.
Oh yeah, nobody cares about that.
Yeah, no one
Wait,
cares about
people
Heroes of the
still
Storm.
play that?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
they don't, which is why
What
Blizzard
was that
added
thing?
it to their. Was that?
I was saying I forgot that was something for so long. I forgot about Heroes of the Storm. I didn't know
Oh
people still
yeah.
played that. Like, holy crap!
Well, people weren't playing it, so then Blizzard had that. What was it? That Diva skin and then that Genji skin you could get if you played Heroes of the Storm and got to like level 20 or something.
It was an
Mhm.
incentive, yeah.
And then people played for like a week and then they stopped playing because they only wanted the Overwatch skins.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, was that the Oni Genji skin?
The Oni Genji and the Police Diva.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
then they
I
ended up
remember.
adding those to loot boxes anyway.
Feels bad. I wasted all those hours on Heroes of the Storm for those skins, and I could have just got them in a loot box.
Oh my
It's
I did the
gosh.
same
League of
thing.
Legends is all it is.
Well, yeah, I that's how I got
Shots
those skins.
fired.
I ended up playing Heroes of the Storm for a little bit, but I didn't know people still played it.
Right.
I
It's a little
Well,
surprising.
but oh yeah,
I think I read a statistic where Realm Royale has a higher than Heroes of the Storm.
Was it higher what?
But
You
Realm
cut out?
Royale is really good.
player count.
I
Oh,
love
I
Realm
liked
okay.
it.
Royale. Realm Royale is a great game.
It was the only battleground game that I was actually semi good at
I was
because
pretty
I
good
can't
at it.
play like Fortnite or anything. So,
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
build worship.
but
Yeah, I don't want to touch that game.
But Panic, I know you know more about Hearthstone, so I was gonna let you have the floor here.
okay. Well, going back, you mentioned Heroes of the Storm, and we didn't actually talk about what like the actual Heroes of the Storm thing. Like Heroes of the Storm is being added to this new thing that they came out with, the Blizzard Arcade.
Right.
I figured that was something that you were about to mention.
Yeah, so the Blizzard Arcade is pretty cool. I I haven't looked a lot of I haven't looked at it a bunch myself, but I know they're gonna make like a lot of the old like StarCraft and Warcraft games part of it as well.
Mm. Including something I've never heard of. I can't remember exactly what it was. And then they're going to include the Lost Vikings as well.
Yeah, there's a
Blizzard
lot.
Arcade. Oh, let's see. I don't know if I can find it on here.
I tried to look at for a list of all the games that were in arcade, and I couldn't find one.
Yeah.
Um, just to name a couple: the Lost Vikings, Racing, Warcraft 3, Diablo 2. StarCraft Anthology. Those are ones that have been um, in Rock and Roll Racing, whatever that is.
Hmm.
I have no idea.
Rock and Roll Racing. I've never heard of that.
Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, the Blizzard Arcade will be pretty interesting, and I think it's good that they're moving that to the arcade. Well, I guess it really wouldn't change anything since the game was play.
I just feel like it's the Blizzard dead game graveyard. Like the games that they're not going to support or the older games that people don't really play, they want to release it so the people that do like the games are like, hey, I have something to do now.
I'm really surprised that they didn't try to. I'm really surprised that they didn't try to turn, um, wow, the StarCraft into something more like Overwatch or Craft or some kind of MMO or other game in that world because they have such a huge fan base for StarCraft. It was one of the biggest esports games, like 10 years ago.
I feel like
Right.
they'll probably be releasing a new StarCraft like next year or something.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I think that they might be more beneficial to have a Warcraft 4 instead of making another expansion. Did you guys watch the Shadowlands trailer?
Yes.
Oh my god, yes.
Thoughts?
I feel like it's just the the Badlands. You're just going to like the Shadow Realm almost, or an alternate universe or something.
Well, like
I feel
the
like this
Sha-
like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
the Shadowlands, from what I understand, and if I remember, I used to read a lot of the books, and I haven't in years. But the Shadowlands, I believe, is the realm that the shamans go to talk to their ancestors. Isn't that right? Or am I thinking of something completely different?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I was thinking it was like I tried to do research on this. I looked up Ghostlands because I actually thought it was Ghostlands, Shadowlands, but Ghostlands was a place in the Burning Crusade where you started out
yeah.
as the Draenei. That wasn't.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking that I might be right as far as the Shadowlands goes, and you would have to be a really powerful shaman to conjure yourself into this realm, if I'm remembering right. So for all these mortals to be able to travel there, I just find it kind of weird. Um, I don't know. I was the cinematic as far as the way everything looked was amazing and sounded. I mean, it was awesome.
It was awesome.
But the story involving it, Bull was one of the most badass characters in the alliance to begin with, and for Sylvanas to push him around like that, I thought it was a little silly, honestly.
I gotta say, Bolvar is probably my first and only like man crush that I've had. Like, so I have the whole the defeat of Arthas, and then when Bolvar took the helm of the Lich King and all that. That's when I was like into the Warcraft story as much as I possibly could without actually playing.
Yeah.
And that's also when like the Warcraft TCG was out, and so I was like 90% into like everything that was going on, and yeah, like Bolvar's taking the helm was just like that. It was a very powerful action because he basically took it. So he's like, you know what? Nobody's gonna mess with this shit again. Like I'm taking control, and we're not gonna have any issues anymore.
And
then you got Sylvanas being a bitch for like the last like 5 years.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to get that same reaction out of people with her breaking the helm.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think that they're going to get it. And let me kind of briefly explain why. The Lich King was Blizzard's best time as far as an MMO, or WoW's best time as far as an MMO. You had more people raiding and a higher player base than any other time in World of Warcraft. Since then, there's been nothing but a decline. And in the game, you haven't seen Bolvar a whole lot. We'll have a quest here, a quest there, involving a little bit of the lore, but other than that, he's not had a huge role. And so for them to just completely shatter the helm and not be able to experience anything with him before that, I just found that really, really silly.
Yeah.
Personally. I don't know. I think Sylvanas should have died a long time ago.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's already undead. What are we
Yeah.
gonna do?
Well, like she was turned into that by the Lich King though, and so for her to be able to then defeat the Lich King seems really weird.
I mean, it's a whole argument of she is who she is for a reason. She is this powerful NPC, this leader of the undead. This like out of all the shit that she's done, like this just builds to like a climax. Like the what was the last big WoW expansion? The
Or Battle for Azeroth is the current.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Battle for Azeroth. That was their other Civil War one. That was going back to those roots.
She was supposed to be the one you defeated in this expansion though, so I just feel like that they're just trying to, like, they were marketing her as the bad guy from the very beginning of the expansion, that she was the one that you had to defeat. And
Oh,
so I
really?
feel like,
Okay.
yeah, and so I feel like that they're just like pushing off the inevitable, and that this new expansion should have actually been part of the current one, I guess. I don't know.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
that's all I was gonna. World of Warcraft is kind of in a funky state right now. You kind of, with them coming out with Classic, they kind of split their player base because they did get a lot more subscribers. Are just coming back to play Classic. I think they expected them to play um, retail, and not as many people are playing that as they thought.
Mm. Mm.
Well, retail, I just feel
Okay.
like from playing Classic, it's so much more rewarding to work for your stuff, and I feel like in retail, especially with the Battle for Azeroth, everything's just handed to you from the
Yeah.
get go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's high risk, high reward kind of stuff. You know, if you take a risk, it's
You get a
it's a
high
lot
reward.
harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and dungeons are a lot harder. Tanking and keeping threat in a dungeon as a tank is an actual mechanic, where in retail it's not.
Grinch was our
Um,
tank in Classic.
yeah, I'm still playing a little bit. But yeah, what changes are they doing to Hearthstone?
Um, it's not so much like changes, but Hearthstone is coming with their next expansion. Um, their expansions are brought out in blocks, so it's 3 sets that are all themed together. This is the final set of this theme, and they've been building like a good guys versus bad guys scenario. So the bad guys are five bad guys from the WoWverse. So you got uh fuck. Now I'm blanking on all their goddamn names. Uh Hearthstone bad guys. Let's see if Google can help me with this here. Perfect. So we got Hagatha, who is a oh Jesus Christ. Can I not find anything here?
She sounds like a hag.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, five classic villains from WoW. They were released in the first set. The first set was themed around being a bad guy and all that. The second set was Saviors of Uldum, which released the other 4 classes as good guys. And so now you have your bad guys and your good guys, all 9 classes. And now this one is just a whole like kind of like a mix of the battle as well as it's just a purely like dragon themed set. And dragons have always been a very powerful aspect in this game, so that's going to be it's going to make a lot of people happy. First off,
Right.
But just the cool expansion that the spoilers they showed so far are pretty good. So a lot of people are getting excited about that. But the thing I was excited about is their auto battler that they came out with. So if anybody's played auto chess,
I played TFT
recently this year.
but I never played auto
So
chess.
TFT, same basic thing. You each round you pick teammates, and then they fight each other in an auto random battle arena,
Yeah.
and then you keep picking, and then the last player, you're fighting 8 different players at once, but just one at a time. So like there's 8 people in this arena, and then they're like, all right, you're gonna fight this person next, and then they'll pit you up against each other, and your team kind of bashes their faces together until one of them, until only one person's standing.
Yeah. Sounds pretty interesting.
So they're doing that. They're doing that with existing Hearthstone cards.
Okay.
So what they're doing, when this was announced, I downloaded Auto Chess just to try it out, just to see what this game mode was going to be, and I got addicted to Auto Chess that first like 2 days. And I'm like, well, shit, this is pretty cool. And all it was like, okay, I pick this number and I pick this number, and then if you pick 3 of the same number, you get a bigger number. And then like that's all it really was. And then you just slam your numbers together. So this is going to be a big benefit for Hearthstone fans, as well as a benefit for like auto battler fans.
I'm excited to see it.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, I would be interested to play that because I like the World of Warcraft characters, and it sounds like auto chess version of World of Warcraft more or less.
That's exactly what it is, and it is like I'm literally actually playing it right now while we're doing this.
Nice.
And it's just it's super easy to pick up too. The thing with Hearthstone is you need cards. Like you start the game, you get like 100 basic cards.
Yeah.
But there's like 3,000 cards in the game. So you're at a great disadvantage. You're playing with little stuff, and then you gotta either earn packs, earn gold, and buy packs, or you just gotta buy packs and spend money. This auto battler game, you just get. Like right now, it's in the beta form, so only people that have bought packs for the new set have access to it right now. But I think a little bit later this month, I believe it's going to be available for everyone. I'd have to double check on the actual release date for that. But like you get access to 30 heroes. You get to choose from 3 before you battle, and then like you just play the game. Like you don't have to buy packs. You don't have to download characters to do stuff. So it's actually pretty reasonable for somebody who doesn't want to spend a lot of money on a game. Then and spend have a good time.
Makes sense. And it seems like it kind of works the same way TFT did. Like Colt said, do you know if you'll be able to play with friends while you're doing this? Also, do you know anything of that?
It hasn't been advertised.
Okay.
It would be really nice if you could have your set up your own server, I guess, and be like, hey, I got 8 people that I want to play with, and then but yeah, as far as I know, they haven't shown any possibility that might happen.
I would imagine with that though. I would imagine with that though, because I know in TFT you can only have so many players with you. If you did get your own private server, you probably wouldn't be able to rank up at all. You know what I mean? If you're versing all your friends, which makes sense.
Right. The rank seems to be a little like it doesn't seem to make a difference at the moment. It just shows how how skilled of players you're gonna play versus.
Okay.
At the moment they don't show to have any, which this might change when it's actually released, but I doubt there's going to be an actual reward system in playing, because you're not putting anything in to play it. It's just a thing to do. At least that's the way I do it.
So the way that TFT does it is they have cosmetics like your little character and your your portrait and
Oh, what are they called? Pets? Are they called pets?
yeah,
Something like that.
that's kind of their way of making money with the game.
Hmm.
Is just
Little
cosmetics.
Little Legends is what it was.
And they were
Yeah.
they were talking about implementing individual skins for each creature, also that you could unlock by playing the game more.
Really?
Yeah, so
Okay.
different things like that. I'm sure is kind of the way that they would do it. And not to mention that there is kind of an esports scene behind those type of games, and now they're becoming a really big thing.
Is
Enjoy
it
it
really?
quite a bit.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember sinking hours into TFT when it first came out.
It's an addicting game. It really is. It pulls you in bad.
Oh,
Now,
I
were you already fans of LOL when you started playing
no
that, or
no. It's the most
no,
toxic
okay?
community. I hate
it
League of
is.
Legends.
It is.
Worst
So,
community of any game I've ever played, to be
oh
honest.
wow, that's quite a statement.
Like like Overwatch community negative 90%. I don't know how to describe them, but they're like uninstall, go kill yourself kind of.
Yeah, especially in competitive.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so think you're praising this teamfight tactics just because it's a good game. You like the concept.
Yeah.
I should actually download and try it because I actually haven't.
The only bad thing about it is you actually have to download the League of Legends client. So you have
Because
to
it's
download.
played through that client. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
They have had a few
Um,
updates though, and they got quite a few characters and just sets you can pick from and stuff like that. Pretty cool.
okay. Yeah, I should try it out and see how similar or how different it is to this Hearthstone one. But yeah, like that's all the more reason for you to for people to try the Hearthstone one. Like if you're not a fan of League but you like Teamfight Tactics, same thing. You might not care for Hearthstone the card game, but their auto battler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down to try
And
it.
a lot of people love the World of Warcraft lore and read the books and don't even play the game. So
Oh, definitely.
Could you imagine how many movies they could make off the lore? Like they made one movie off Warcraft, and it was just insanely long, and it was like just one little snippet, you know?
Yeah.
the in-game cinematics, like my favorite as far as World of Warcraft goes was the one about Starfang. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but he's one of the most iconic warriors in World of Warcraft, and it's just a really awesome cinematic, and it actually has Sylvanas as well.
What?
If you guys get a chance, I would go check it out. But
Yeah.
no, Blizzard. I remember the first time I booted up World of Warcraft. I was like 14, 15 years old, and the original cinematic for the original game like gave me chills, and I still remember that to this day because I never, I don't know, it really sucked you in, and I don't remember ever being as intrigued in anything up until that point like I was to this, and I think that's the way cinematics are supposed to be. And I love the new Overwatch cinematic as far with Echo. I thought that was awesome as well.
Mm.
But no, I'm interested to see what Blizzard does in the future. I hope they start making a little bit better. Um, I think that they could go a lot further than they have, and they've just kind of put their resources in the wrong places.
Yeah.
Unless you guys have anything else, you guys about Blizzard before.
Um, I mean, there was just little stuff.
Go ahead.
One of the funny things, I was actually rewatching the opening ceremony. I didn't get to watch much else other than the opening ceremony. Um, a little thing about the opening ceremony is they brought out like the lead designer of Diablo 4 and then played that and he talked for a bit, and then as he left they said here comes Ian something or other, the lead designer of World of Warcraft, and then J. Allen Brack comes out, the Blizzard CEO or whatever, and then he starts, and like his name was on the board and everything. So like the announcer just shouted out the wrong name when he walked out, and I found that kind of funny because I wasn't paying attention, and then after Jay Allen, what's his name, Jay Allen Brack or whatever, what
Yeah.
once he walked off, then the announcer said the World of Warcraft designer's name again, and then he came out, and I'm like, wait a minute, did they say his name twice?
That's hilarious. Oh man, like I remember it reminds me of the moment the other day at like the Game Awards where somebody announced the winner of a certain award and they said Epic Games, which is Fortnite, and then they stand up, they go to walk up on stage and they're like, I'm just kidding, and they call up. I don't remember who they called up, but I
Oh
do
my
remember
Oh my god,
gosh.
it was so bad.
that's like Steve Harvey bad.
Yeah. Oh man.
You remember Steve Harvey called the wrong name at a beauty pageant,
Yeah.
or like the whatever, yeah. Like he intended to say this was the person who won second, but he said like the winner is this or something, and they had crowned her. They gave her like the scepter and the flowers and shit, and they're like, oh no, sorry, it was her, and they had to like
Oh.
remove it and then put it on the next girl, and there was a huge controversy. He got
Yeah,
so much trouble.
Yeah,
And
didn't
then
they make
people-
like a joke about it in Futurama?
Yeah.
Maybe.
What was that?
Or-
What was the actor's name?
Steve Harvey?
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can find this.
He's the guy that does Family Feud.
He has
Right now.
he has the iconic mustache.
Yeah.
He's the black Dr. Phil.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Oh,
He's got the Cheeto above his lip.
I've seen pictures of him without a mustache and he looks scary.
So
I
Dr.
believe it.
Phil.
I don't want to see those pictures.
I still think it's funny that Dr. Phil's a good Charlotte fan.
Really?
Have you not seen the pictures where he has like the mascara on?
Mm-mm.
Look it up.
I thought those were Photoshop.
No, it's a real thing. No, he's talked about it on videos. I think it's hilarious. But no,
Dr. Phil's just great in general.
Yeah, he seems like he has a pretty good sense of humor. I
He
like
posted
to.
I don't know if it was on Twitter or what. He posted a video about I've been seeing some terms in my comments lately, and I don't know how they're pronounced.
Really good.
And he's like, skit.
Did you
And
did you see the one where they made a big meme out of Dr. Phil? Like even PewDiePie was doing it, where it was like, "Send him to the farm, send him to the farm." Do you ever see that?
Yeah. Is that a big thing?
You mean the ranch or?
They'll send him to the ranch. Yeah, to the ranch.
Yeah.
To the ranch.
Yeah, PewDiePie is a big Dr. Phil fan, and yeah, the ranch is a big meme for him.
Oh, yeah, I see the pictures now, Grinch. He's wearing it looks like a leather-studded jacket with fake tattoos and the mascara.
One of PewDiePie's good friends. A big portion of his content is nothing but Dr. Phil reviews.
I wish it was a lot bigger, like part of his content, because him watching Dr. Phil videos is hilarious. But and I don't think we're gonna get into talking about PewDiePie because that's a whole another podcast.
Oh yeah.
I've got really bad storms here. I DC'd for a second, but I'm back.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. While you're gone, we started talking about the War of 1812. What's your opinions on that? Don't ask how we got to that point, but
I thought we were going to talk about Vesco girls.
Oh my
what the
god.
hell is that?
That's another podcast.
That's another
Okay.
podcast.
Okay.
That's a TikTok themed podcast.
Oh geez.
Oh God, TikTok. All right.
I saw someone post on Twitter earlier. They were like, "I don't want to see your TikToks on Twitter. If I wanted to see them, I'd go on TikTok. Please stop."
Tick, more or less.
Do what?
Yeah,
So-
he keeps cutting out.
TikTok's the new Vine, more or less.
Oh yeah. Maybe we'll
Yeah,
get rid of Logan Paul and he'll go to TikTok because that's where he started Vine. We'll get rid of him on YouTube.
You never know.
That's a good
KSI,
segue.
Might supposed to happen, by the way.
KSI may end at Logan Paul. He may not be able to go back to Vine.
Yeah, we'll find out in 2 days. The
Oh, let's see.
KSI versus Logan Paul fight. I am
Woo,
definitely
my
team
God.
KSI.
Broadcasting it on YouTube. Where are they gonna? Where are you gonna be able to watch this fight?
So far
Well,
the only
the
thing I
first one
know
was-
is DAZN. That's the only thing I know so far. That's like their app they're using to stream it.
Okay. Well, what was the first one? Like,
YouTube.
It was on YouTube.
was it on YouTube?
You gotta
Yeah.
pay like
Okay.
$100 to watch it on YouTube, and people were pissed off because it ended in a draw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was a big. I guess we'll call it a controversy. Like people were saying that the whole thing was just like a money grab scam. That's like
I
people
honestly
paid a
think-
shitload of money and then nothing happened.
I think this one's gonna be the same thing.
I don't know. I from watching at least KSI because I haven't watched much on Logan. Logan looks like I'll be honest, looks like an absolute unit. The dude is stacked. But KSI has been working with the Mayweathers and just his technique has improved like 100%. I don't know if they would put in all that work and time. Just you know what I mean. Someone's gonna get
Mhm.
knocked out. Somebody is gonna get knocked out.
They
100%.
could work
I
out.
hope so.
They could work. I mean, they were always in pretty good shape. They could work out and then just hype up around it. I mean, I'm not saying that they haven't worked with people and anything
Yeah.
like that, but I think this is all about. I mean, they're doing this for money, obviously,
Yeah.
but
I think they have real beef with
just the
each
way
other
that they
too.
promoted this makes me think that it is a money grab with them talking about race and all these other things just to get publicity in the news and things. And that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's about attention and money. That's
I,
it.
I do think with no head guards and 10-ounce gloves though this time, it's not gonna end in a draw. Somebody's gonna be on the ground. Somebody's getting knocked out. That's what I think.
Oh yeah.
No matter who wins, they're gonna say whoever won paid the other person off, kind of a thing. There's gonna be a lot of that kind of shit going around
Yeah.
too.
hmm I just want to say I'm pretty sure KSI like won the first one. I don't know how it ended up in a draw. I don't like that it ended up in a draw, but if you actually watch it, KSI.
Logan ran out of stamina really fast. So, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
he was gassed out. There was no gas left in the tank. If it would have been one more round, KSI would have knocked. I think he would have knocked him to the ground, or at least
I'm
at
fairly
least
sure
one.
he was winning. Yeah, he was winning at the time that it was called a draw, which I don't remember exactly when I watched or like how I watched it. Like I think I just watched whatever clips were on YouTube, but from what I saw,
But that
it
brings
was
it.
it was a done game.
But that brings it back to what Grinch was saying. Do you think they only did a draw just to have a second one? You know?
Oh, they're gonna be charging people to watch it.
They charge $100
Most
a
likely.
person on the first one, so I would assume so.
On the
Yeah.
the only place I've seen to watch it so far is on DAZN, and I had to like I think pay like $20 to watch it on Saturday. So it doesn't seem as bad, but I'm not sure.
Is this
I'll probably just
their?
watch it on Reddit or something later.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the first one. I didn't care enough to,
Yeah.
and I like boxing. But
Well, this one's actually going to have an undercard of professional boxers. You know.
that's
I mean,
cool.
yeah. They kind of mixed
So
it in.
one thing I'm interested in is the app that they're streaming to their app, or is it an app that paid them to do this?
I think it's an app they're
It's
working with.
sponsored,
It's a
probably.
boxing and fighting like UFC. But I don't know if it's UFC. I saw Bellator on there.
It'll be like
Bellator
MMA,
boxing.
sponsors are on the board.
Yeah, it's called DAZN. DAZN. I think it's just an app that them and Eddie Hearn are working with,
Hmm.
or
Interesting.
a company they're working with. I don't know if it's going to be streamed on YouTube. I think it's just going to be streamed on the app. I don't know if it's going to be streamed on YouTube or anything like that.
I'm assuming if they're pushing for the app, it'll be app specific.
Yeah.
Maybe on YouTube later.
I'm sure there'll be highlights and stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be about 1,000 people reviewing it and being like, "Oh, this is when this happened. This is when this is when the fight should have ended." But if his technique was better, like the nerds that make YouTube videos, have proper boxing technique and all that.
Yeah, there was one fight.
No offense to the people that make YouTube videos here.
There was one fight I wanted to see on the undercard, but I don't think they worked out a deal. I wanted to see. I don't know if you guys know Face Sensei. He's like a mixed martial artist, but he was dabbling in boxing, and I wanted to see Face Sensei versus Jake Paul, but it just didn't happen. That would have been another good one, but
I just prefer not to see Jake Paul at all. His existence
Yeah.
annoys me.
Yeah.
I used to think that Logan was the less crazy one until the whole Japanese forest incident.
I don't even think he's allowed back in Japan after that. I'm not sure.
That was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let's not get into that topic, though.
No, that's a very bad topic to get into.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely disrespectful, and I hate it.
Yep.
You want to talk about Call of Duty Colt? What do you want to talk about?
Yes, the new Call of Duty game is out. It's been out since I think October 25th, and I have very mixed feelings about it. It's the gunplay is really nice. I don't know what's going on with, like, sometimes people freeze up and stuff like that. Like Penguin's been having issues with it. I don't know if they need to optimize it better or what, but it's been crashing for a few people here and there. They're just freezing up in game, stuff like that. Sometimes I'll be playing a multiplayer match and it'll just randomly freeze frame and I'll be stuck in one place for like a second and then I'll start running again. But they definitely have I would say, solid foundation, because I haven't seen or heard anything yet about any microtransactions, like anything yet. I've seen there's like I forget what it's called. There's like a pack in there, but I'm not sure. Usually it goes to like military members or something like that. That's what I think that is, but I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. Don't quote me on it. But it's some of the things are broken in their current state. Like there's a shotgun called the 725 that you can literally put a recon scope on and shoot people from across the map and still kill them, which I think is obnoxious and just it needs severely nerfed. Yeah, it needs there. I think there's an update coming up this weekend, which hopefully they nerf it. I don't know how the competitive scene is going to work though. They're and Penguin's seen this too. There's a lot of people running around with shotguns, and then there's a lot of people just camping now since they changed up the map style a little bit, and it's super annoying.
Is the spawn rating, like?
Yeah, you could be spawned right in front of an enemy.
Will die.
Yeah, you could spawn right in front of an enemy.
So they probably need to fix that a lot more.
Competitive right now, I think the only thing that this Call of Duty has going for it is the 2v2 gunfight. That's my opinion, though. Have you seen anything about the new Call of Duty, Grinch?
No. No, I'm after the last few I've played, I'm just not a very big Call of Duty fan.
It honestly took me a little bit of time to get used to this one because the movement and the sliding was so fast on Black Ops 4 that when I first started playing this one, it felt like I was literally running through mud. That's how slow I felt. It was quite an adjustment. But I'm very interested to see how they do their competitive besides the 2v2 gunfight.
The only thing I will add about the new Call of Duty that I didn't like is the PS4 exclusive mode. That's going to be
for the year.
Yep, for the first year it's out. It's
by that time we're going to get the new COD. So,
Yeah.
or the next COD, possibly.
So basically, every other system's getting the shaft on that complete mode because by the time they get it, it won't be something people are actually playing anymore.
It'll be obsolete.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But it'll look good to them for investors because they'll be able, since it's cross-platform now, they'll show that they're going to be able to be using those servers when it comes out on the new systems, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think that's just a ploy to make more money through Sony, but then also look good for the investors for the longevity of the game.
Yeah, I can agree with that. They funny enough, they didn't even try that I know of yet to do a battle royal for this one since Blackout kind of tanked. They just went with a Battlefield style game mode called Ground War, which is just nuts. Like it's like directly like Battlefield. There's tanks, helicopters, ATV or quads, ATVs. It's just nuts, and to me, in my opinion, that doesn't feel like Call of Duty because it's just such a big map. I mean, you literally most people are just sniping or they're up on the hill on the side with tanks shooting down at you. It's
You have a wide variety of different kind of players and
yeah.
more.
Those are the two mains I've run into. They're the people in the tanks, and just people sniping me from across the map at spawn.
I don't even think you can destroy a tank even if you shoot it with a rocket launcher. I think it takes a couple shots to blow them up.
I'm
Because I
not
tried doing
sure.
that earlier, destroy the tank.
I've only blown them up with another tank. I'm not sure.
What about the helicopters?
The helicopters, you're once you get in the air, you're pretty much dead to rights. As soon as you get up in the air, you got RPGs, you got rocket people shooting you down with rocket launchers, man.
It's more of like a quick way to like transport troops from one location to another real quick.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all the helicopters really used for.
In Battlefield, I would always like drive a helicopter, then jump from it and try to get a few snipes before I hit the ground.
Oh my god.
Just go really high up.
Yeah, it works well too.
Go to the max of the skybox.
All right, I am going to, since we're talking about Call of Duty, I did put in a code earlier for 30 minutes of double XP or 2 times XP for Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So I'm going to put in another one right now. You just have to go to mountaindew.com/Call of Duty to redeem it, and there you go. It's in chat. First come, first serve. But how was your overall experience so far, Penguin? Besides the freezing,
I'm actually enjoying it. My favorite one was definitely Modern Warfare 2. Going back, like I would play that all the time on the Xbox.
Speaking of the older ones, they
And
were talking about bringing back some of the maps.
I hope they do.
I heard
So,
Rust is coming back for sure. I think,
yes.
or rumors. I've seen rumors about it on Twitter. Hopefully, it does.
I mean, that was like one of their most popular maps, so it would be like it would be nice if they did.
That was the back in the day when you were on Xbox 360. If you and somebody else had beef, you were like, "Let's 1v1 on Rust. Let's settle this now."
That or airport. It was like an airport one.
Oh
You just
yeah.
meet outside or something. Duke it out.
Oh yeah.
But Rust is more close quarters.
A lot of people would say that about Nuketown as well.
Yeah, and Nuketown. They're
Yeah,
probably bringing back
Nuketown.
Nuketown too. I bet.
They'll have a different version of it. Like last time, it was like futuristic, like Russian or something like that.
They're probably gonna bring it back to what it originally was.
Yeah. I'm hoping there's no microtransactions because, like, especially I can understand like skins and stuff like that, or like weapon camos and stuff. Like,
Like
Cosmetics is
yeah,
fine.
cosmetics. But in the last one there was guns and weapons and stuff like that. And like there was this one weapon you could get. It was like a crossbow, and I'm telling you, in Black Ops 4, it didn't matter what I did, I would get one hit by that crossbow every time, and I just got so annoyed.
The last time I
Wasn't
played
that
a
a
lot
weapon
was
in Black Ops or something?
Those
Wasn't
are-
there a
Yeah.
crossbow in Black Ops? That was like one hit.
In Black Ops 4,
No, not Black Ops 4. It was just Black Ops
I'm not sure.
or Black Ops. I don't. I know. I feel like there was a crossbow in one of the previous Call of Duty.
I know in Black Ops 3 there were like 9 or 10 weapons that you could only get through the black market, which you had to be incredibly lucky to get any of them or just spend a lot of money. And
Yeah.
I personally hate microtransactions for that reason. If they alter the game in any way, I don't think you should have to pay for
No.
individual from the game.
That's
I
like
honestly
on.
feel like the store is just going to be cosmetics.
Yeah, that's like on
Looking over the
Fortnite.
customization, like there are guns and there's a good amount of them. It's just they're unlockable by level base, and I think
Yeah.
that's a lot better of an approach than doing microtransaction.
Like on
And
Fortnite, they're underneath their store. It says these items are purely cosmetic and do not affect the game in any way or gameplay in any way.
yeah, I mean, and not to like jump back to Overwatch 2 for anything, but just briefly, they did talk about that they are finally going to have weapon skins individual from the character skins in Overwatch 2 as well.
Ooh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see that note.
Yep, it's a rumor, but it would make sense the way that they have their weapon menu set up.
Okay.
But
Well, that's something we never talked about is the Overwatch 2 in the story mode or whatever you get to level up your characters, and
yeah.
you get to change your attacks and talents and whatnot.
I think that's more for like PvE. I don't think that's going to be competitive based.
Oh no, yeah, it's all story mode.
Yeah.
But
If they, I think people would accuse them of being too much like League of Legends if they did that.
Yeah.
and that's what I was afraid of. I was afraid they would go kind of the League route, but
Yeah.
What was that, Penguin?
No, then never mind.
Okay. But not to bash on the new Call of Duty too much, but those are just things I was pointing out that I think I personally think need fixed. But the game is actually fun. It's fun, especially with friends. The gunplay is smooth. There's those little subtle things that need fixed in the game, in my opinion, and there is ways around them right now with your weapon setup and your loadout and stuff like that. But sometimes the game just gets annoying. That's all I'm gonna say.
I feel like that comes with every kind of first-person shooter.
Yeah. And it is new, so I'm giving it a. It just came out, so I'm giving it a chance. Give them a chance to fix stuff. You know what I mean?
If you had to rate it 1 out of 10, what would you give it right now?
Definitely, I'd give it a 7 or an 8.
Yeah, 7 right now because I can't actually do anything. I can't play for a long period of time without my game crashing.
That sucks.
Yeah, I keep getting the same dev error, so I'm waiting for that patch to hopefully fix that, and then I'll be able to enjoy it a lot more. But right now, I'm actually enjoying it.
Yeah. Speaking of this because I think they're updating Call of Duty this Saturday. The KSI versus Logan Paul 2 fight is this Saturday, and for some reason, Penguin, I don't know why, but they skipped a whole week of My Hero, and the My Hero episode's gonna be this Saturday.
Rick and Morty's gonna be on Sunday.
Yeah.
The rumor is the reason they did that was because there was like a FIFA World Championship or something that same weekend or that same time. And I don't know if that's true. To me, that doesn't seem like anybody who would be watching My
No.
Hero would be watching FIFA.
Like just because I'm watching anime, you think I'm gonna watch soccer?
With weebs.
Yeah.
Soccer weebs out of here.
Soccer weebs.
Soccer weeb.
But just because I'm watching anime, you think I'm gonna go watch soccer? I don't know. I don't know.
I was trying to think of a game that people who watch anime would actually play, but I don't think we watch.
now I'm wondering, is there a soccer anime?
That's what I'm wondering.
I can guarantee you there is.
Oh yeah, there is a soccer anime.
I really want to watch the soccer anime now.
Hold on, let me find it.
He's gonna get Penguin's gonna Google the soccer anime.
Soccer anime. I just found a video from 2017 called the Top 20 Soccer Anime.
The top 25 best anime about soccer ranker.
Oh,
God damn it. Top 18 best soccer, football, anime, manga.
Days, Captain Tsubasa. Inuzama 11. Days. Holy shit, there's a lot of soccer anime. What the hell?
Damn. You know what anime I want to go back and rewatch? I want to go back and rewatch Zoids. 100%. That was a hell of an anime. Movie night, let's watch Zoids.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
New Zoid series coming out soon. Or currently out. I sent you a link to it last couple Thursdays ago.
Okay. I want to watch it from the very beginning though, like the original Zoids, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder if any place streams that. Or
Zoids?
yeah.
I I don't think I don't know. Yeah.
Any possible topics you guys want to go over for the next podcast? I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. I know we had originally talked about talking about some of the streamers moving over to Mixer, so maybe that can be one of the talking points for next stream.
Yeah.
We're also possibly going to talk about Bethesda and what they did with Fallout 76.
Yeah, I think
Oh yeah.
yeah, we'll talk about those on the next one for sure.
Oh, how they extended that shit. Fuck.
I don't see anything, Penguin.
I think I found it. Was it just hold on? Was it just called Zoids?
Oh, I think it was.
Zoids Wild.
I can't. It's been so long since I watched it, man. I was a kid.
The old ones are Zoid's New Century, or I can't remember. Don't get me to lie.
Did you ever get your coffee, Grinch?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it didn't help much.
Okay.
Tasted good though.
I never heard her come back, so I didn't know if you got your coffee or not.
Yeah, that's why I got quiet for like 5 seconds. I'll shoot her out quietly.
Oh god.
Gave her hand signals to leave.
Oh jeez. Knowing you and her was probably a certain hand signal. No, I'm just joking.
Well, I mean, it was, but I wasn't gonna say that.
Ooh, so back to our original topic. I'm just browsing through my YouTube subscriptions, and Jacksepticeye has a first video of Death Stranding up.
I saw that just before we started as well. He must have got the
Probably got an early copy.
well, and he probably asked for it ahead of time, and or a lot of those big.
Or they came to him. You never know. I don't know.
Well, a lot of the big streamers can get like bypass
Oh yeah.
different things. Yeah. So he probably got exclusive rights to stream it early.
Yeah. I think for like the first day of like COD being out, there was like an embargo where you couldn't stream it or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, there was, yeah.
Yeah.
And see, typically companies that do that are very sketchy, in my opinion. There's a lot of like early access games that I would that I want to cover on my personal YouTube channel, because that's what I do. I cover early access and indie games.
Yeah.
Because those are the things that interest me. But I can't tell you how many games I haven't bought just because there is no footage of the game anywhere. You can't find any gameplay footage. And how do you expect me to how do you expect me to pay like $200 or $300 to play your game ahead of time in an early build without any type of footage, and then tell me that I can't stream or make videos about it as well? I mean, that's absolutely insane. And who's going to spend? I mean, unless you're just super rich, who's going to spend $200 or $300 to play a game they know nothing about?
But I wouldn't. I mean, even if I was super rich.
It depends on the game.
I'm talking about like Duel's, what is it, Dual Citizen, and some of those sci-fi MMOs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What was that one sci-fi MMO? It's not. You can't play it anymore. I can't remember what it was called.
I think there's a lot of those.
Let me Google it. Like, I never played it, but it looks so interesting.
What's that old MMO you can't play anymore? It's kind of sci-fi. All of them?
RuneScape. Oh wait,
You can still play RuneScape, and it still has a very thriving community.
I think Penguin, you still play, don't you?
Play what?
RuneScape.
Hell yeah, man.
Weeb.
How's that a fucking weeb thing? What?
I remember playing RuneScape back in like middle school and high school.
Are we
Did
talking
you
about
play?
the newest RuneScape, or we're talking the old school? Because I'm an
Old school.
person. Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely. Fuck yeah, that was
What
the
about
best
Tibia?
best game ever. Never heard of it.
Never heard of Tibia?
Never heard of Tibia.
Tibia.
Here, I'm about to school you.
Tibia.
Drop a knowledge bomb on us.
Uh, let me see. Here we go. I'll just drop it in the podcast.
The anticipation is killing me.
I sunk so many hours into this game. I can't even tell you.
Is this like an online game?
Yeah, it's an MMO, open world.
What is this? This is like have a hotel almost.
I need to see this.
Dude, I started playing this like 20 years ago.
Why
Like,
is
I
the
don't even-
camera angle so weird?
Tibia.
I don't know, man.
I both love it and hate it at the exact same time.
You're looking at it like a bird's eye view, like third person. Like what the fuck?
Dude, this was
Wait.
the shit back in the day.
This messes with my head, just the angle.
You're right. It was shit back in the day, and it's shit now too.
It's like I want to look at it like by tilting my head to the left, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm playing the game." This thing's kind of fun though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was fun in the sense that like it's one of those high risk, high reward games, and very much for the same reason people like classic WoW. They like this game because if you die, you lose all your shit that is on you, every single thing.
That makes sense.
Okay.
And
I mean,
there
it's
was
the same thing for RuneScape, but you know, whatever.
and it was open world PvP. You could just go out and decide you wanted to kill somebody.
But I do that in real life.
Oh, I found it. That I was determined to find that game. Wildstar. That's what it was.
Wildstar was a good MMO.
Yeah, I was determined to figure out what it was called.
I feel like that game was before its time. I feel like if that game would have launched like last year or this year, it probably would have done really well. But I
The
think
little bit that I've heard about it has all been good.
it was a game designed for like the hardcore rating or hardcore players from World of Warcraft. The problem
Yeah.
is World of Warcraft was still in its prime when it released.
Gotcha.
So, had a really good aesthetic as far as they had like little telegraphs on the ground. So it was a lot faster paced than World of Warcraft, and the gameplay and everything felt good to me at least. Colton Penguin can tell you what their thoughts were on. I thought the gameplay mechanics were really good. I just feel like it was a little bit before their time.
Yeah.
Did you play Penguin?
I never played it. I just saw things about it.
I'm still determined to find fucking Zoids right now. So.
Yeah. Oh, he's still looking for Zoids. Penguin, if you find it, let me know.
Dude, yeah, totally.
I want to
Wait,
rewatch
so you
all
have not played?
Wildstar.
Yeah, no, I have never played it. I've heard of it, but I've never played it.
Same.
I've seen good things about it and heard good things about it.
It was a really good game. I think there's even private servers that are hosted now because it was so popular. I just think that it was made by NCSoft, which is a terrible company.
Oh my god.
But no, I think this podcast went well. I will hopefully not be sick next time, because it's been a struggle for me, honestly. But I think our next one we'll start looking for a guest that you would like to bring. Feel free and
Cut out, man.
oh man, cut out at the end.
You did. You cut
That's
out.
bad.
Feels bad, man.
It does
Is
feel
this
bad.
the one you're talking about, Cole? Please tell me
What?
this is the one you're talking about.
Did you send it to me?
Yes. They're all on YouTube apparently, dude.
All of them?
I don't know. If I looked up
I'm
Zoid's
watching-
episodes
I'm
and I
seeing
found
it.
at least 4 of them on YouTube here.
It's hilarious.
Yep. I remember the intro. This is it, man. This is it. I remember this. Oh my, the nostalgia. Oh my god.
It's beautiful.
It is.
It's beautiful.
Dude, this brings me back, man.
The judge robots and everything.
The Liger, dude.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. Where
The
its,
Liger?
where its claws like glow up and it just straight.
New
Oh
Century
my
Zero.
gosh. This is
Yeah,
this
it's
is
Liger
it.
Zero or
This is
something.
it. I remember the intro like that.
Oh, where can I put this?
They were New Century Zero and
Anime
Chaotic
TV.
Century.
What?
I think Colt just failed No Nut November.
Yeah, a little bit.
Dude, hey, holy crap.
A little bit.
It's no shave November for me.
Sorry.
I can't hang.
He can't hang, he says. I'm growing my facial hair out too.
Apparently, this isn't the first Zoids though.
Really? This is the one
No,
I
There's
remember.
like 6 different Zoids.
No, it's Chaotic Century is the first one.
This is the one I remember.
His name's Van. The main character is Van. Where in the second one, it's shit, I don't remember.
I could literally watch this all day.
But yeah, thanks for coming to the podcast, guys.
Hey, thanks for
Heck
having us.
yeah.
I appreciate everybody for watching. Please ignore my raspy voice. It probably, hopefully, won't sound like this next week. And we'll see you around.
Shout out everybody.
Just on the podcast, please let us know. We'll see you later.
Ta-ta.